Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another long-awaited episode of the Takes from the Lakes podcast.
It's been
too long, and it's been a fun last, we'll say 3 days in the college sports world. Kansas got destroyed. We got a classic Duke UNC showdown.
The Cormac Ryan game.
That was a fun one. Cormac Ryan legacy game. We got some interesting women's basketball action.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
funny story about women's basketball.
And some crazy NFL.
Real quick.
And
Well, that's not really
NFL business.
Not really a funny story, but it was pretty interesting. I was working yesterday at Mary's, a breakfast restaurant, and I was just like working, and one of the dudes asked me to turn the Caitlin Clark game on the TV. And then we turned it on, the Big Ten Championship, and everyone was watching. It was pretty hype, and just kind of goes to show how popular Caitlin Clark is and how insane she really is. And they got the dub. She had 34 or something, beat Nebraska in the Big Ten Championship. So congrats to Iowa basketball on behalf of that. And I'm looking forward to watching
Nebraska women's sports. Yeah. Nebraska women's sports in general is I know they're not crazy tough at basketball, but I think they did beat Iowa earlier this year. They're crazy. They're nuts at volleyball.
Yeah, they beat
insane.
Yeah, they beat
I think
Iowa
they're good
by
at softball
3 in
too.
Basketball. So yeah, if I mean your guess is as good as mine, but sounds about right.
If memory serves.
If it does serve.
Shout out Sketch.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to watching some of the women's basketball games because I've actually watched a decent amount. Like Tennessee, I love watching them play. They almost beat South Carolina in the regular season, then they lost in that stupid buzzer beater in the SEC semifinal. But yeah, go on.
There's always the best player to watch in college basketball. That's Paige Beckers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
crazy tough out of UConn.
Yeah. But there's definitely
she's not better than Caitlin Clark, but her game is just so
tough.
smooth.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to filling out the women's bracket. Maybe not quite as much as the men's, but I think I got some sleeper teams, and I think I know who I'll pick to go pretty far based on what I've watched. So, we'll see. But
Angel Reese masterclass.
Yeah, and LSU that crazy LSU SEC, whatever the heck that was.
That fight was insane.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And Flau'jae Johnson's brother running on the court.
Oh my gosh,
nuts!
Kim Mulkey was like trashing on the SEC or the South Carolina girl. But go on.
Yeah. Champ week pretty much starts tomorrow. Sorry, not so sorry, Ms. Bayer. I will be watching the Big 12 tournament in class tomorrow.
Kansas play tomorrow.
Nothing you can do about it.
Kansas, they have the bye. Yeah.
But there's
who's playing tomorrow?
There's a game at 12. I want to say it's UCF. The game at 12:30 is I want to say
UCF Oklahoma State.
UCF,
and then West Virginia Cincy.
And then West Virginia Cincy at 3. It should be fun.
Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. But yeah, I mean some crazy what are your thoughts on the college basketball scene right now, James?
I mean, this is the most invested I've ever been. It's pretty sick. I mean, we're 6 days until Selection Sunday. I can't wait for that. Maybe I'll come over. We'll hang out for whenever the brackets come out. But yeah, I mean, it's been pretty awesome. The end of the regular season was pretty fun to watch. I mean, Duke UNC, that was an incredible game to watch. There were some other great games, and players were showing out. Dalton Connect, beast. Reed Shepherd had a great game. KU did not play great. We watched the game. Probably the worst I've seen them play. Nash, I'm sure it's probably there with the worst you've seen them play. We can get into that, but
yeah, I mean, I've been watching Kansas basketball for as long as I can remember, and there's definitely some bad ones. We got smoked by Moretti, Texas Tech, for anybody who knows. 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
but like it's one of the worst. It's bad. But we'll recover. Hopefully Dickinson and McCullough don't play this week.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to watching the final Syracuse basketball games. Potentially, unless they go on a crazy run in the ACC tourney, we'll see. We'll probably play NC State and then whoever beyond that. But then again, we'll see.
I will say that real quick before we run down the the rest of the conferences. Kansas cannot make a fucking layup. But yeah, and then Big 12 tournament should be interesting. Like obviously Houston's the favorite. You've got, I mean, the Big 12 is so deep. Like TCU could make a run, Texas could make a run, Texas Tech, Baylor. I don't love Baylor. I mean, they're all right. They did beat us, but I don't love Baylor or Iowa State. But I think a team like even like
BYU.
UCF, who's like seated like close to last, is
Mhm.
BYU. That's another, I mean, 3-point shooting team that can
Yeah.
really light it up and get hot.
Yeah.
Houston obviously is huge. KU, I don't see winning it just because like we're dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
I don't think
I mean,
we
it'd be pretty
should
hard to
try.
say that Houston wouldn't win it. I mean, then again, like they're not really playing for much. I mean, they are playing
Yeah,
for
well,
a Big 12
and it's
tourney
just
or
hard to
championship,
like.
but
It can be hard to predict these things, like what
yeah.
teams care and what teams don't. Houston with it being their first year in the Big 12, like.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we'll see. It should be fun. But before we really get into college basketball, should we give our obscure stats?
Oh, yes. Okay. So could I start?
You may.
Okay. So I actually have kind of an interesting one. So Ohio State basketball. My obscure stat is basically chronicling the downfall of the Big Ten. Ohio State basketball, they had Thad Matta as their coach from the 2004-05 season up until 2016-17. Um, he got them to an Elite Eight, a Final Four, a Sweet 16, got them to the second round. And then a couple bad seasons. They hire Chris Holtman and a couple second round exits, few second round exits, and now they're in the trenches. 16-19 this past season, and they're bad this year.
Mhm.
Their only win at home. It's just been a terrible showing for them.
Yeah.
They even lost. I mean, they lost that game to Oral Roberts as the 2 seed, but it's just been terrible for them. And then you look at Indiana basketball. It's a similar story, right?
Hmm.
You have your legendary coach, Tom Crean, coach from 08 to 2016-17. And fun fact about Tom Crean, he's one of the only like notable college basketball coaches to never play college basketball.
Hmm.
But regardless, got them to a Sweet 16, few Sweet 16s. Um, and they were just not crazy success, but every single year you saw Indiana and it was okay, this is a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And then you hire Archie Miller, you go 16-15, 19-16, 20-12, and 12-15. Then you hire Mike Woodson, 21-14, 23-12, but you lose in the first round and second round respectively, and they're bad this year and have 0 freshman recruits incoming.
Wait, who's
So
that?
trajectory, that's Indiana. That's Mike
Mm,
Woodson. So trajectory for them is
yeah.
shout out Jimmy Fallon.
Huh,
It's my favorite GIF.
clearly.
Um, and then Michigan basketball is going to
I
be the
mean,
last one.
gosh.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just terrible. So John Bayline or Jim Bayline, he was their coach. It is John Bayline from the 7-8 season until 2018-19. He got them to 2 national championship games, a third round, a Sweet 16, second round, a couple Sweet 16s, bounced in the first round once or twice. But they were really solid. Juwan Howard gets hired. They make the Elite Eight 1 year, then the Sweet 16, but then they get bounced to the NIT and have a terrible record this season. Um, and the trajectory for them is not good either. So 3 like what people think of as powerhouse programs, like
Yeah.
just really down the tank,
Hmm.
or in the sewers right now
Yeah.
of college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, usually, especially in recent years, there's always kind of been like a Michigan up there or a Michigan State, Iowa that have been really, really solid. And this year, it's kind of just Purdue, number 3 ranked now, in Illinois. It's kind of hung around the middle of the pack. They're at 13 right now. So, but they do have 4 tournament teams: Northwestern, a lock, Nebraska a lock, and obviously Illinois and Purdue to get in. So. We'll see how they do in the tourney, but definitely lacking at the top of
Yeah.
the standings there. So,
Yeah, well, yeah, and like it's sort of reversed, like what people think of as like the good Big Ten teams.
mm-hmm.
It's sort of flipped on its head a
Yeah.
little bit, not entirely, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also Wisconsin too. I
okay.
left
What's
them
your
out.
obscure stat?
But again, my obscure
Yeah,
stat is
they're all
kind
right.
of
They're not. Yeah.
yeah. Um, my obscure stat is also related to college basketball. It is the last time a national champion came from a conference with less than 4 bids. So less than 4 teams in that conference made the tourney was UNLV in 1990. This year there are going to be 3 Pac-12 teams, Colorado, Washington State, and Arizona, meeting Arizona historically should not win the national championship. Not saying they were going to anyways, because they have not had a good history in recent years, but just kind of interesting stat. So those teams that win the national championship come from conferences that have 4 or more bids, which is kind of interesting to think about. So, any thoughts on that?
That's super interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense too. Like, you can be as good of a team as you know as any during the regular season.
Hmm.
But if you're not playing good competition day in day out, then you just won't stack up during the tournament. We saw with those Gonzaga teams, when the Mountain West sort of picked back up, that's when they actually haven't won a national championship. But like
Yeah.
when the Mountain West was better, that's when they saw their success.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. But so those are
For
our
sure.
obscure stats. For
You
sure.
already know.
You already know. You already know. What else should we get into as far as college basketball goes? I mean, we had those good games last weekend. Houston beating up in Kansas,
Yeah,
Kentucky beating
so
Tennessee. Go on.
oh yeah, I didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
So we could kind of go conference by conference, sort of outlook at like who you like. We
Hmm.
could talk about the all conference teams that came out.
Okay.
And just go conference by conference. We already kind of went over the Big 12. Talk about Big 12 all Big 12 first team if you like, or we could just move straight on to the SEC.
Let's go to SEC. We'll see how long it takes. We can
Okay.
maybe go back. But yeah, SEC. Um, let's see. Yeah, pulling out 5 Tennessee. Like I said, just lost to Kentucky. Kentucky's been playing really well. Reed Shepherd's been balling. Shout out Rob Dillingham. But yeah, Tennessee at the top. South Carolina kind of been falling as of late. They are ranked above KU though. Nash and I talked about that in math today. Auburn up there at 12. Like I said, Kentucky and then Bama. Is Florida projected to make it in? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Projected 6 seed. Um, and then that's probably as far as tournament teams go, all they're gonna have. But yeah, Nash, go ahead. If yeah.
Um, a team that I like that, you know, that's like really a bubble team. Like it's a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's Texas A&M.
Okay.
Wade Taylor the fourth got all SEC first team. I'm trying to see what Joey Brackets has them as. But that's just a really dangerous team. They can get super on fire from 3,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just yeah, they're currently in the first 4 out right now.
We'll have to make some noise in the tourney.
But a good showing. I see. Here's the thing too that I like for them. They play the winner of 14 Missouri, 11 Georgia. Georgia's a good team, but they don't match up well with Texas A&M's 3-point shooting abilities.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a win easily. Sorry, wait, no, never mind. Sorry, they played number 10 Ole Miss, who had a strong start to the season, but they've been downward trajectory. Yeah, and I just don't see that working out well for them
Okay.
either. I think that is also a pretty good matchup for Texas A&M. Then
Gotcha.
you play Kentucky. This is the big thing. If they beat Kentucky, you got to think they're in. Kentucky, not a ton to play for,
Mm-hmm.
other than maybe like getting on that 2 line. But Kentucky, super young team,
Sure.
probably devaluing, this SEC tournament looking ahead. And you've got Wade Taylor the fourth. You got a lot of experience with Texas A&M.
I
Great,
beat him by 22
great.
like 3 weeks ago. Oh, sorry,
Texas
you're not
A&M
talking
beat them.
about Bama. Sorry, never mind. I had Bama in my head. This year they did lose to A&M this year though by 5.
Yeah, they did.
So
That's a winnable game. And then if they win that game, they're in. So to me,
mhm.
that's a team to look out for. Another team possibly. I mean, you could look at for an Ole Miss resurgence. They were undefeated for a while, but um, you
Yeah,
know that those sorts of things can be tough to forget or predict. Mississippi State is a team right now that's in the last 4 buys, so like second 4 in right
yeah,
now. And to me, that's a team that with a loss to LSU tomorrow, or some teams moving up, even if they beat LSU, they lose to Tennessee, I think they could easily get bounced.
hmm
Not a whole lot of like top level talent.
yeah.
They did have one guy on All SEC first team, Tolu Smith the third. He is good, but I don't think that's a team that's not a tournament team for me.
Yeah,
I think they'll fall out, but
gotcha.
we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I have just a few things to say. I was looking at KenPom, kind of looking at the overall stats as far as that goes.
Mm.
Auburn is the 4th ranked team in the nation, which is interesting. They're projected 4 seed. Tennessee, like many people know, is the 3rd best defense in college basketball. But what I really wanted to say is
And it's
Bama.
really Zakai Ziegler.
Yeah, it's a guy Ziegler. Also Auburn, good coaching. Are they a very experienced team? You tell me.
By the way, here's the thing with Auburn. They are experienced at certain parts.
Yeah.
Aiden Holloway, the starting point guard, is a freshman.
Okay.
But he's very talented.
Yeah.
They do have some experience. Here's my thing with Auburn. It's a similar situation to KU.
Yeah.
They have been dominant at home and abysmal on the road.
Yeah. That's fair.
So another team that like can really knock your socks off if they finally find out how to play when they're not in their home gym. But it's a
Yeah.
team that excites. It excites me when you watch them play. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, easy,
Yeah.
easy, easy pick for a disappointment, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say as far as teams I don't like, I'll get into who I do like. South Carolina, they kind of been a surprise this season, have been kind of stumbling late. They're the 4th luckiest team in the nation. So you can kind of do with that what you will. But Bama, we know they have like a historically incredible offense. Their defense isn't so good, but they do have the strongest opponent offense schedule in the nation, the number 1 ranked opponent offense. So just because they haven't been, I mean, yes, they've been allowing like 110 points like every other night to whoever. You can kind of look at it and say, well, they have been playing overall the best offenses in the country. So you can kind of look at that and do what you will. But 11th ranked in
Well,
Ken Palm
maybe
as
that's
well.
because
But
the 110 points that they're giving up is shooting the averages up so much.
yeah, I mean, I'd like to think one game wouldn't change it that much, but
It's true. It's true.
yeah. And so I'm kind of higher on Bama, not so high on South Carolina. Tennessee, I'm gonna be high on, but just like everyone else. And yeah, I'll agree with everything else you say too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I think Dalton Connect's the best player in the country. He's the best pure scorer.
yeah,
Um, I've heard concerns about his defense, which are, obviously valid. Like, but I don't think he's really being asked to play a whole lot of defense given how good that team is defensively.
yeah,
And he's just an electric pro level scorer.
yeah,
But again, watch out for them to potentially, take a dive in the SEC tournament. It doesn't really matter for them.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. Moving on to the ACC, it is interesting. I think it's as advertised. UNC runs through the ACC.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Duke just is not a good matchup for them. But talk to me about who you like. I could see Clemson or Syracuse, the two orange teams.
Yeah.
I can see them making runs.
Syracuse, their whole season has been based off of kind of playing no defense and just hitting like insane shots. They don't run an offense. They don't really get open looks in offense, but they just have guys that can make shots. Judah Mintz, JJ Starling, Quader Copeland, but I wouldn't trust them to make a run. Obviously, my heart hopes they do, but I would take Clemson. I mean, they got destroyed by Clemson. I take Clemson over them. I take probably Wake Forest over them. I think they're better than Virginia Tech, NC State, but as far as Syracuse goes, I hope they do well, but I don't really foresee that happening. I do think they're better than Pitt though, but UVA, we all know, plays good defense. Have they been playing well as of late? Not quite. Lost. Oh, that's right. They lost to BT by 34. I forgot about that. Got destroyed by Duke and UNC. But we'll see how they do in the tourney. Duke did they, for some reason I had in my mind Philip Passy got hurt, but that was Dickinson. But yeah, I mean they should be locked into what, like a 3 seed? Is that what they are? Yeah, that's what they are right now. But as far as teams I like, I mean obviously UNC, but I do like Clemson. Watching them play Syracuse, they actually seem like a pretty solid tournament team, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make a run in the tourney or in the overall tourney. But as far as Syracuse goes, it's just gonna be based off if they can make shots, which is kind of what they've been doing all year, but they also played no defense at the same time. So yeah.
Okay, so a couple games to watch out for it. But two teams in the next 4 out are Wake Forest and Pitt. Pitt led by freshman Bub Carrington, and Blake Hinson, who both have had phenomenal seasons. And then you've got first team All ACC Hunter Salas on Wake Forest. So those are two teams to really watch out for. Wake Forest, to me, you're looking at potentially a letdown. Not a great 3-point shooting team, which I think is important. In these games, oftentimes lots of firepower, but Pitt auto bye to the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
along with
it's so huge.
Duke, UNC, and UNC.
UNC
With
twice.
that, Pitt, great 3-point shooting team. I like Pitt to get themselves into the tournament, get a dub. I also think Pitt can take down a team like UVA or a team like Duke with their shooting prowess. I mean, I think UVA is a great matchup for them.
If they beat
it's
Wake
just all
Forest
about,
or whoever they
Bub
play, they would play
Carrington.
UNC in the ACC tourney.
They would, which I think is tough, obviously. But, a loss to UNC is not the worst thing. It's just, can they win that? They pretty much have one game to prove themselves, and it has to be a resounding victory. In a lot of ways, that auto qualify to the quarterfinals could hurt them.
Yeah.
But it all just depends. Their shooting, that's an upset pick. And I do like UVA. Do I think
They
UVA?
beat Clemson?
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're so inconsistent offensively. And when you slow a game down as much as they do, yes, you let yourself in every game, but you also give the other team a chance to be in every game when a lot of teams don't.
You're not really going on any
deserve to
runs.
play with you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when you do go on runs, Isaac McNeely misses the 3 on a perfect out of bounds play and just ruins all the momentum.
We've seen that personally. We have personal experience with
That's a throwback.
Moment.
That's a throwback. UNC, I think that's the best team, but
they have, they're gonna play Pitt most likely in the semifinals. I mean, it seems like they have a pretty, assuming they beat Tech, which I think will beat Florida State. I mean, they have a pretty easy road to the championship, but I mean, Syracuse Duke, if Syracuse beats NC State second round, I mean, I think Duke will destroy him. So I think really the UVA Clemson game is going to be the most interesting as far as the first three
Yeah.
rounds.
And
But we'll
Clemson
see.
obviously still trying to get in.
Yeah.
And the other thing, here's a team. They've been disappointing all season. You know what I'm gonna say. This could be a
Uh,
bad take because they could lose to Boston College. But Miami,
hmm
Nigel Pack, Norchad Omier,
They got the
they've been
guys.
terrible all year. Watch out for them though. Every blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes. And they have the firepower to do it. Shout out
Shout
Miss
out Miss
Connolly.
Connolly
That's what
in unison.
James always tells me every time I have a good take that every blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes.
Yep, because they do.
And
You
today
are the squirrel
today
in, the, in that in
during
those situations.
today during a push that wonderful saying was referenced again. So look out for it more. Maybe that'll be our new slogan. Takes from the lakes with James and Nash. Every blind squirrel finds a nut.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
is that tough?
wait, should we get that
Wait,
trademarked?
what we could, or
Low
what if we
key.
just change the podcast name? Every blind squirrel finds a nut pod.
Mm. And
It's
then
kind of a
like takes from the like
mouthful.
studios, like we're like the
Ooh,
recording studios. It's
TFTL
TFTL
Studios.
Studios. That's yeah. Also going back to
Ooh,
Miami, they've lost 9 straight games. That's like insane.
Miami.
Yes. And let's
Yeah,
see, they're 4-14 in their last 18. So, I mean, if they want to go on a run, by all means, it's different basketball when your season's on the line. So we'll see. But like you said, they have the guys. Been very disappointing all year, but yeah, we will see. 9 straight to end the season. That's just not ideal if you want to be good.
that's. I mean, Larinaga might get fired,
Yeah.
but I mean, again, it's like it's a team you have to like. I
How
mean,
far did
they
they
just
make the
have
tourney
so
last year?
much talent.
Was that last year they made it
They
far?
made the Elite Eight when
2 years
Kansas beat
ago.
them.
2 years
Yeah.
ago, yeah. With what's his face? Wong.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Wong. Hmm.
Yeah.
But
Wong. They had. I think they had Pack that year
yeah,
as
Nigel Pack,
well.
yeah. Yeah. But I mean it's really just will anybody beat UNC
Oh wait,
and
no, they didn't. But
okay. Will anybody beat UNC or who will even get to meet them in the
yeah,
championship will be very interesting to see.
yeah. I mean, it seems really top heavy. It seems like a top heavy conference, but it's really not. Like UVA, Clemson, Wake Forest, Pitt. Those are all like solid teams.
Yeah.
Syracuse as well. Like
If you had to place bets on who would get in, who would you say?
from
Playing
the
out the
ACC.
yeah, from the ACC.
So I mean, the two that are locks,
Yeah, of
obviously.
course. I mean,
Um,
Clemson's pretty much a lock at this point. They have
yeah, I've
a
got
really, really good
Clemson.
resume. I think UVA,
I
because
think
here's the thing, UVA is
yeah,
already
UVA's already projected. UVA would have to. I mean,
they'd have to get destroyed by Clemson, like destroyed. I mean, last four in.
yeah,
I mean, they're not gonna like losing to a tournament lock.
UVA's last four in.
Yeah.
UVA's last four in.
So losing to a tournament lock, I don't really know if that's
Mm,
gonna. And then again, they could
here's the thing:
lose.
UVA's resume is not that great. The
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I don't think UVA gets in just because you would have thought that they would have been higher up just based off of their record, but their resume is
Yeah.
not that great. So if with
Yeah.
them being
Yeah. They really
last
have
four
not
in
beaten a
right
good team.
now, they
Well, they
have
beat
to beat
Clemson.
Clemson, and I don't think they do. I think Clemson wins that game.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
but
Me
I
too.
think I think Wake Forest and Pitt will both find a way in.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
it's
here's
almost
the
like the
thing,
winner of the Wake Forest
Indiana,
pick game's gonna get in. Almost. I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, like the last four in right now is like I think those are teams are all going to get knocked, and I think Mississippi State will get knocked.
I mean, I think Indiana State's gonna get in.
They
Colorado, I
could.
think will get in. TCU is kind of interesting, but and then again,
See,
like you
here's the thing
said, if
though.
A&M makes a run on the tourney, they're
Um,
gonna get up. So
Here's the thing with TCU. TCU plays Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
I think that's a good matchup for TCU. I like that. Then they play Houston. So a loss to Houston doesn't really hurt them.
Yeah.
In my eyes. And I think they beat Oklahoma. So I don't think there's a whole lot of movement that TCU can do. So unless a bunch of teams
Fair.
make, big time moves.
They did already beat Houston too. So gotta factor that in as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, Baylor's gonna have to play KU most likely. Um, I mean, I don't think really anybody would want to play KU, especially when you're the higher seed. It's not who you would want to
Yeah.
draw, but interesting. We'll see. But anyway, so if you had to choose
Yeah.
ACC teams, who would you choose? Come back to that. Like you're saying, everything plays out.
Okay, so UVA doesn't make it, but then the other five do.
So
Pitt,
Wake
Wake
Forest and Pitt.
Forest.
Hmm, that's
Yeah, so I
interesting.
think Pitt wins. I think Wake Forest wins their game and then loses to Pitt.
Okay, so Pitt's gonna beat Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest would not get in if they lost to Pitt. There's no way.
I think they do.
I think it's just gonna be. I
Well, I
think
think
Pitt,
you also have to factor in there's like a pretty severe ACC bias that has existed,
yeah,
like an East Coast sort of thing. And I'm not saying it's like wrong, probably the most storied conference. You do have to factor that in, right? So like two
yeah,
teams that are in contention and they both win a game in their conference tournament,
yeah.
I think
That's
I
true.
think they have to be in. I think they'll jump. Plus, you just like talent wise, like they're just flat out better than like a Mississippi State. If
You're
I'm
talking
or in
about
like a St.
Pitt.
John's. Both Pitt and Wake Forest.
Okay. If I had to put money on it, I'd say obviously Duke, UNC. I think UVA will get in, and then Pitt, Clemson. But that's the
I
thing.
don't think
Like,
UVA gets in. Because UVA loses to Clemson,
yeah,
in my eyes.
but yeah,
Then they're
it's
out.
like losing to a tournament log though. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. But they don't have a good resume, so that I guess it's fair. UVA doesn't.
UVA
But
does not have a good
yeah,
resume.
probably the worst out of any of the teams, honestly. Um, okay. We touched on Big 12, ACC, SEC. You want to go to Big 10
Yeah, so the Big
then?
Ten for me is pretty easy. It's a
Yeah.
very top heavy conference. I mean, we see this in football too, where like a lot of the games played in the Big 12 is just like, why are they even playing this game?
Yeah.
Rutgers is bad. Rutgers tough on defense, and they're going to be insane next year. They have the 2 and 3 recruits in
Oh,
the
yeah. That's
which
insane.
is like,
How'd they do that?
well, so Dylan Harper's brother went there, and he's from New Jersey,
Okay.
and then Ace Bailey, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Um,
that's just like
he
insane.
was just trolling.
He's like, I'm gonna just do
Um,
whatever. Yeah. I mean, as far as the conference tourney goes, Northwestern's gonna pull most likely Wisconsin, then play Purdue. I mean, they're pretty much a lock anyways. As far as bubble
yeah,
teams go, there isn't. I mean, is Iowa?
Nebraska.
Iowa's bubble team first four out. Um,
Um,
I mean, Iowa's gonna get Ohio State, who has been playing relatively well down the stretch, but then Illinois.
Ohio
So
State.
yeah, interim coach, right?
See, here's the thing though. They're like, even if they beat Ohio State, like that's a bad team. So
Yeah, I mean it's fair, but like they would then they play Illinois, which um have they been good recently? They've been decent. They beat them twice in the last 5 games, so we'll see.
yeah.
But yeah,
Hold on. I'm trying to see if Nebraska's in here.
we gotta give
Yeah, they
our
are. They're a 9.
episode Boo Booey shout out. Gotta do it every episode. So shout out
Oh
Boo
my
Booey.
God, my favorite college basketball player that doesn't play for the Jayhawks. Um, what an
What about Cormac
inspiration.
Ryan?
Floater game OD. Um, no, no, Boo Booey on top. Big Ten tournament. God, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane that Michigan is the last seed.
It's actually
Maryland,
so weird to look
that
at.
Maryland has Jameer Young, who's like super, super good, but they just haven't shown to have a good enough team around him to be good. Like
Yeah, well,
I
he's
don't
averaging
think,
21.
especially with Wisconsin being a great defensive team.
Yeah.
I think they can shut him down. They'll get that win. I don't think Indiana gets in. The only thing like Northwestern gets in for sure.
Yeah. I think they're pretty much a lock. Unless
Um,
who they play first other than the first
is
game.
Indiana in right now? I don't think they are.
No, and they're not in the top in last four in or
Yeah.
first four out or the
The
next.
only okay, the team that isn't in right now that I think could is Michigan State. Michigan State could mess around and win. They play Minnesota in the first round, and then it's Purdue. And Purdue,
They're not even
that's a
on the
team that,
bubble right now, but they should be.
yeah,
That's
okay, they
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 don't have a good
they could
resume.
win the whole thing.
Yeah.
They could win the
They've
whole
been
thing.
playing really bad though.
Yeah,
Lost to
it's
Iowa,
really
lost to
tough. Like
Ohio State, Indiana. That's a problem. I've seen a bunch of stuff about them. Like
it's
they've
really
been
tough. Like
locked the past like month, and then
yeah,
they played like crap, and they're still not on the bubble. So obviously a little bit of
yeah,
bias
like a
there,
like a
but
lot of really talented teams have played terrible down the stretch. Like
yeah,
um shows the value of like experience although that's an experienced team, so
yeah,
really hard to like point fingers anywhere.
yeah. So
But it's just um I think that team, it's just it's just a matter of like who has the ability to win games against teams that are better than them. And like that's a team to me that can.
yeah.
Um who won all Big Ten honors? Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Wait, are they not out? I don't know if they're out yet.
Does not look like. Oh well, it is on Rivals. It's Edie, Bowie, Jameer Young, Terrence Shannon, Tyson Walker, Bree. Well, that's six people. Braden Smith too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Some
don't think the
conferences do
official.
like way more than five, and some
Well,
do
who's
just
out?
five.
ACC's out, right? Like for
ACC is just
sure.
five. SEC had like eight.
Dang.
Um,
They don't do. Oh, that's interesting. Hey,
yeah.
Kelsey Tominaga got third team.
Casey Tominaga should have been higher than that. He just went for 30 the other day.
All right. Do you have anything else to say about Big Ten?
Mm, not really, other than like watch out for Tyson Walker. Any other shout outs? I mean, my glorious King Boo Booey.
Of course. I think we shouted him out enough
But
though.
okay, Big East. Is that what we're doing?
Sure. All right, Big
Loki, we
East.
could just skip the Pac-12 and talk about the
Yeah.
Mountain West.
Pac-12, there's three teams. Washington State,
It's
Colorado's in the
Arizona.
bubble, Arizona.
Colorado's on the bubble.
Washington State's
Um,
been a little
but
underdog
Washington
team.
State, yeah.
But yeah.
Washington State's good. Okay, Miles Rice, not really a freshman,
Uh-huh.
but a freshman. He's tough. Had to
Yeah.
fight cancer his first 2 years in college.
Jeez.
I think it was lymphoma. He came back, and he's been killing it all
Hmm.
season. So watch out for him.
All right. Big East. Here we go. Connecticut, obviously been up there, one of the best teams in the nation the whole year. They beat Marquette. I watched that game. They honestly played really well. Their only loss since December 20th is that one against Creighton at Creighton. Other than that, they've been pretty much unstoppable. Their offense has been really incredible. But yeah, third best offense in college basketball, 13th best defense. But yeah, I mean, if he had to place bets, I would put it on UConn. If he had to place bets to win the championship, I'd probably say UConn too. Um,
No, it's got to be
I would.
Houston.
I don't know. UConn, like
No,
the whole
no.
year, they've shown they kind of are even better than last year. So I would say them. But anyways, Creighton as well has played pretty decent down the stretch. Beat Marquette a week or two ago. Marquette's been.
I mean, Creighton beat UConn.
Yeah, it's the one UConn or the one UConn
Creighton
lost
smoked
since
UConn.
December 20. Yeah, won by 20. But Marquette lost to Creighton and UConn twice in like a month. But they're still obviously Shaka Smart has pedigree in the tournament. St. John's has been playing really well. They're on the bubble right now. Rick Pitino coaching. So another coach with
Yeah.
good pedigree in the tournament. So that's definitely a team to watch out for. with that experienced coaching that has been playing well down the stretch. Beat Creighton. I guess it's the only really good team they beat in the past couple weeks, but um, yeah, I mean, I got nothing else to say as far as that. Seton Hall, shout out Shaheen
From the
Holloway,
bubble.
St. Peter's. Who is
Shaheen
Seton
Holloway,
Hall?
St. Peter's.
Yep, St. Peter's,
Yeah,
shout him out.
he
But
balls in the bubble.
yeah, let me see. Seton Hall, yeah. 56 in Ken Palm. What is St. John's? 31. Wow.
They're in right now.
St. John's is in?
St. John's is like bad.
Yeah, last four in.
St. John's is like last four.
And Seton Hall is, yeah, last four
Um,
buys.
I mean Villanova's on
Villanova's
the
in the bubble
bubble.
too. That's kind of crazy.
The thing for them, they played DePaul first round. That's a easy
Yeah,
win.
it's might as well not even play that game.
And then they play Marquette, which like that's a loss. Marquette is so good.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
Honestly, if I'm putting my money on one team that's not KU, it's Marquette.
Yeah.
Dude, Marquette is insanely
Is
good. And it's not just Cole. His Oso Ighodaro is insane. Cam Jones can go for 30. Like he's done it like 5 times this year.
I know Kolek was injured. He
So
didn't play the UConn game. Is he gonna be back by
I mean,
the
sit him.
Yeah. I mean just saying like
It
as
doesn't
far
matter. They're still gonna cook Villanova.
for Villanova's sake. I mean playing them with that I mean, yeah, like you said, they're good around him still, but yeah, that is yeah, I don't see a reason why Villanova would win that game.
And I think Shaka Smart, good coach, dangerous in the tournament. I mean, I hate him, but
Of course.
gotta
Who
give
don't
him
you
his
hate?
flowers.
Yeah.
And then I think that means it's time for our reference of the day. This is a new segment.
Do we want to get
Is
into
it time?
Mountain West?
Then we can get.
Are you good?
Nah.
Okay. All right.
I,
Shout out
I
San Diego State.
I don't really see the point. I don't think
Okay.
any of those teams are real contenders. I think we can give after we do this little segment, we can give our sleepers and tournament favorites.
Okay.
And then we can move on to overview of NFL
Quickly recap. Yeah. Okay.
We can call it.
Well, mine.
Yeah, but give me so just to explain this new segment, right?
Yeah, please. Yeah, explain it.
Each of us are going to, there might be a visual aspect for those on YouTube, but like we're gonna give our rendition of a pop culture moment in sports and see if the other person can guess it.
Yes.
So, for instance, we came up with this in class. The first one, I looked at James and I said, "I fear God, homie. I fear God."
Out of the blue.
And I was like, "Where's that from?" For those of you who know, that's DeAndre Hopkins talking smack to D'Angelo Hall during training camp, and then he breaks his ankles, and like D'Angelo Hall gets injured for like weeks.
Yeah. Don't mess with
Forced
D-Hop.
him on a route. Don't mess with
So-
D-Hop. He fears God, homie.
He fears God. But yeah, so for those who don't know about these, moments in history, whether it's a soundbite or an action, you can be educated on, I guess really they're all kind of like memes around the NFL community, or just like popular clips. So I guess for those who don't understand, you'll be educated for future times. But should I go first, Nash, or?
Yeah, you're going
Okay.
first.
All right, jeez. Okay. Mine. All right, it is. How many words is it? All right, it's 5 words. That's all I'm gonna say. You've been watching film, huh?
Oh, it's Cam Newton.
And then who was who was it? Wait, who was the linebacker? Wait, I'm trying to think now.
Was it Dante Hightower? They were playing the Pats, right?
No, it was no. I know who it was. It's Packers.
Oh, it was Packers. Was it Clay Matthews?
I believe it was.
It was Clay Matthews.
Yeah, it was
no,
Clay Matthews. And then what happened on the play?
Cam Newton rushing touchdown. He said, "You've been watching film, huh? Watch this." Like,
No, incorrect.
no,
Not the play. Hold on, I'm watching. I'm double checking right now.
is that not what happened?
Wait, it was Clay Matthews. Yeah, no. It was a Texas route. Shout out the best route in Madden to Christian McCaffrey for the touchdown. Clay Matthews thought it was a wheel route. Cam Newton said, "Oh, you've been watching film, huh?" He said, "All right, watch this." It's on the hot mic. Snaps the ball, throws to Christian McCaffrey for the touchdown. I believe that was in Cam's MVP season, I believe. And kind of been a meme. They were 9-4, so not his MVP season, but still Cam Prime. So that is the you've been watching film, huh? moment in history. I'm kind of surprised you didn't get the. I mean, I'm not surprised you got it, but the final play or the final result of the play.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know.
mine's a little bit more difficult. But
Oh God.
you're gonna for those of you watching on YouTube, you'll get it quicker. So it's can the Raptors cut the lead to 6? All right, tell
Ooh,
me what it is.
okay. So Raptor. Okay. Ooh.
The announcer says, "Can the Raptors cut the lead to 6?" And then it's this.
No, like for those who are
Okay,
listening,
okay, so
it's like
like,
a.
okay, so pick like I'm one person. I'm the first person. I fall down. I stumble backwards, and then second person turns around and goes,
Oh, it's who was the he was saying safe to the ref.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah."
Wait, let me guess who it was. Was it was it Lance Stevenson?
No, no, you're like sort of on the right track though.
Oh gosh. It's like a goofy player, right?
I guess he's not really goofy. His game is just kind of similar to Lance Stevenson.
Give me a hint on the
Plays for
player.
the Mavericks right now.
Oh, it's Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, it's Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, yeah, okay. So for those who don't know, Tim Hardaway decided that instead of guarding the corner three against the Raptors, he was going to give a safe call to the ref who had just tripped and fallen over. So he decided to sort of laugh at the ref about how he had fallen over instead of actually playing. Did they make the three? They made it, right? It's a good
I
question. Whatever.
what
But he
the
decided to, instead of
hold
play
on.
defense, let's look it up. Let's get confirmation. He called the ref safe, and then the three got shot right in front of his face. And that is a moment in the NBA that will be forever remembered. Yeah, I don't know if I was getting. Well, I got it off of the hand motion. Definitely helped. I feel like he missed it.
He missed it, yeah.
Yeah, he missed
And the
it.
other thing was the Knicks were up by 10. So the announcer saying can the Raptors cut it to 6 is wrong.
That's actually really funny. Yeah. Shout out to Tim Hardaway, man. Yeah, Lance Stevenson, similar game. Similar game. I just thought like goofy moment, like Lance Stevenson. I thought that'd be too easy, but um couldn't quite get it. But I'm glad I got the overall message. But do we want to get into NFL free agency? Do we want to dip our foot in, if you will?
Yeah, I mean it's been pretty insane.
Yeah, we're at like 50 minutes right now, I believe. So
Yeah.
we're getting
Obviously
there,
lots
but
to talk about. The combine was insane. Shout out Xavier Worthy 421. Other than that, there's not a ton we can talk about. But
yeah.
um, biggest signings, defensive tackles. You
Yeah.
got Chris Jones 5 for 95, and then it makes Matabwike and Christian Wilkins look like massive overpays.
Yeah, yeah, really does. Um, it was how much of Chris Jones was guaranteed? Was it
I think
full? Yeah, it's
yeah.
full. What was Christian
That's
Wilkins?
that's the thing with that.
Yeah, I still think it's like a good con. I mean, he has not showed any signs of slowing down, so I think it's a really good contract for the Chiefs. But let me see Christian Wilkins contract guaranteed money. Let's see. Okay, it was so 85 mil guaranteed. So that's still a higher AAV guaranteed, not even counting incentives than Chris Jones. But
Um, yeah, and like Matabike and Christian Wilkins aren't as good.
no, no.
Although to be fair, like Chris Jones getting older, so you balance
Yeah.
you balance those things.
Christian Wilkins with Max Crosby is gonna be like so sick though.
Yeah.
Like so sick. But yeah, as far as as the rest of the NFL goes, I mean Kirk Cousins, 4 years, 180
Kirk
to the
Cousins,
Falcons.
yeah. I
Pretty
mean that's a
pretty
lot of money.
cool.
Russ
Russ on like a
for
literally for
1.2,
nothing to the Steelers.
nothing
I don't
to the
hate that
Steelers.
at all. I actually really like that for them.
Not. And then the Panthers just completely ruining their future. Oh,
Panthers like not. Oh my. Well, first of all, it started when they didn't trade Brian Burns for 2 firsts and a second to the Rams. I don't know why they didn't do that, and they end up only having him for one more year, then trade him for a second and a fifth, to the Giants. And Giants gave him I think it was 5 year, $150 million contract. But Yeah, they didn't retain any of their free agents. Signed Robert Hunt to a 5-year, 100 mil deal. Didn't re-sign Frankie Louvu, which is a mistake. He's actually so underrated and so good. Lost all their edge rushers. I mean, dude, it's not looking good for the Carolina Panthers. It wasn't looking good anyways before free agency, but now it's especially not. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, what other Saquon to the Eagles? The running back, like just the running back landscape is so different.
Aaron Jones gets cut. They sign Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Um,
The Eckler to Commanders. Shout out Antonio Gibson. He's a Patriot now.
Swift
Like
to
I
the
said,
Bears.
yeah,
Pollard to the
Swift to the Bears,
Titans.
Pollard to the
Derrick
Titans.
Henry remains unsigned.
Yeah, I think he's the only like big free agent left. I'm honestly surprised like these guys got signed so quick. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
I don't yeah, it's honestly really surprising, especially the way the running back market has been the
T.
past couple
Higgins
years.
franchise tag, but he wants a trade. Is that
I don't
correct?
think he's gonna get traded. There's no way.
But he wants it really badly.
Yeah.
Basically.
Apparently
I
the
don't think he is either, but
apparently the Pats have been like really aggressive with wide receivers. But
which means
so
that
I
they're
would
taking the quarterback.
yes. They signed Jacoby Brissett. I love that signing. I want to start him week 1 instead of whoever that is. Hopefully Drake May.
Mm,
Probably Jaden Daniels. I would be fine with that. The re-signed Mike Onwenu, super, super good signing, one of the best guards in the league. But yeah, lots of guards signing for like huge money. Mike Onwenu was like 19 a year, Robert Hunt 20 a year. Uh
yeah.
and then yeah, I mean it's been all about the running backs and D tackles really. What else has there been?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch of
Um,
like guards.
I mean, Leonard
Let's
Williams
see.
gets re-signed. Nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon released. Not
Yeah.
shocking.
Minshew
Any,
to the Raiders.
yeah.
Will he be the week 1
Ooh,
starter?
Xavier McKinney to the Packers.
Yeah, forgot to mention that. Xavier, that was like that's a really good signing.
Bryce Huff, interesting signing. 3-year,
I like that
51
for
to the
them.
Eagles. I mean, I do like
He's
it.
so good.
Gabe Davis to the Jags.
Yeah, that's horrible. Gosh. The Jags really had some questionable signings.
Fletcher Cox retiring. I think the Eagles defense is like kind of going down. Like they might have retooled on offense, but I mean their
Yeah.
defense is still good, but it's not as electric.
Yeah.
Okay. Jerry Judy to the Browns for a 5th and a 6th.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if that really makes an impact though. Like I do like Jerry Judy, but
yeah, he's not that good, but I mean, he hasn't had good quarterback play. I mean, I guess Russ kind of didn't have a bad year, but wait, where'd he go? Sorry, Bears? Was that it?
no
Browns?
Browns.
Browns, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, like look at this. 20 minutes ago, Damian Lewis signed with the Damn, they signed another guard. 4 years, 53 million. Damian Lewis. So that's 153 million combined to guards for the Panthers. I guess they really want to rebuild that O line and are letting all their defensive ends walk. Oh, Texans signed Jonathan Greenard. That was a pretty good signing. They signed
Grenard actually.
Grenard, my bad. They also signed a couple other small guys as well, like Geno Stone
Mm.
to the Bengals. David Bakhtiari got released. Um,
A lot of teams that have been like the Bills, who I thought might have made some moves, have been like radio silence,
yeah, I mean they let
which
Gabe
is
Davis walk, and
interesting.
that's been pretty much it. Yeah, so who is left? We got Calvin Ridley, Daniil Hunter, Tyron Smith, C.J. Gardner Johnson, Patrick Queen, Chase Young. That's right, Eric Armstead got released too.
Yeah. So quite a few guys on defense.
Yeah,
To
Justin Simmons. Yeah, we'll see. The Colts extended Michael Pittman, right?
yeah, they did. It's a
Yeah,
good
three
signing
years,
too.
70. Yeah, that's really good. Wow. Hmm.
Um, I think that's about all. Do you have a
Landon
random topic
Dickerson.
in mind?
Random topic. Wait, real quick. Let me highlight like all the offensive guard signings.
Hmm.
5 years, 100 mil, Robert Hunt. Kevin Dotson, 3 years, 48 mil. Jonah Jackson tackle. 3 years, 51. Lloyd Cushenberry, 4 years, 50. Ton of money getting thrown around. Tyler Biotish, 3 years, 30. John Runyon, 3 years, 30. So kind of been a trend there. But anyways,
Okay.
um,
Can I just interrupt just really quickly?
Yeah.
Trace Jackson Davis just got maybe the most insane poster I've ever seen on Wemby.
On Wemby?
Yeah. Go. It's on House of Highlights and Bleacher Report.
I'll just look up on Twitter. Let me see.
It's
Let's see
insane.
this. Oh my God. Did he like he got a finger on it though, didn't he? Wemby did?
It looks like it, but oh my
Yeah.
God.
He like hit it and the ball he like
Because
it's almost like he blocked and the
that
ball still
wasn't
went
like
in.
Wemby like closed out or like contested late. Like he
Yeah.
dunked it like straight
Yeah, he
over.
just threw it on him. Okay.
Okay, anyway, random topic. Do you have any ideas?
Random topic
Talk to me, because I
ideas.
carry this segment, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, I leave it up to you to brainstorm the ideas. Okay, I have one. I don't know why this popped in my head. Let's go
Mm.
frozen yogurt. Toppings,
Ooh.
flavors. I've been to
Listen,
Sweet Frog a bunch in the past year.
so
Let me hear it.
I'm minimalist, right? Like I'm not anti-frozen yogurt, but here's the thing. You know, especially as somebody who I don't have tons of money. I just lost unnecessarily quite a bit of money. Not going to get into it, but
Hmm.
if you know, you know. Anyway, pay me back. But anyways, uh,
Bro.
like it can get very expensive very quickly if you are not like if you're just like throwing stuff on there for giggles and poops, you know?
Yeah. Poops and
But
giggles, they would say,
poops and giggles. It's
potentially.
all giggles and poops until somebody poop. Wait, no, it's all poops and giggles until
Uh-huh.
somebody giggles and poops.
Wait.
God.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I keep it minimal. Like ice cream, I'm like a chocolatey caramel, whatever. When it comes to frozen yogurt, I'm more of like a, fruit,
Interesting.
I'll go like if they have Dole Whip,
Oh, gosh. Like
I'm
pineapple or something?
dude, Dole Whip is insanely good.
That's pineapple, right?
Yeah, have you had it?
No, because I'd rather get like an actual flavor.
Okay. See, you okay, well the
But I
strategy
get it. It does kind of it
is
sound
mix
appealing.
Dole Whip with vanilla. See, like usually I'm not like a big like pineapple ice. Like that seems lame to me. Dole
Yeah.
Whip is different though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna have to put you on actually.
Okay.
But like
You're
toppings,
paying me to go to Sweet Frog next time.
I
Bet.
keep it. You owe me so much money.
12. I owe you $12. It's not that much. That's one Sweet Frog, roughly.
Yeah. Wait, can we go to Sweet Frog tomorrow?
I got a game. One of these days.
There's no way it's right after school.
I mean, it's at 4, but I had to be there after school. We can get into this later. I'm not paying. We're not going to Sweet Frog tomorrow. Sorry, bro. You can go by yourself and get your Dole Whip. But go on.
Gosh. Anyway, um, but yeah, no, I mean like maybe go like some gummy bears.
Wow. So you really just like you just got no chocolate,
Yeah.
no nothing. Just a bunch of like might as
I'll
well throw
go
like some Brussels
Dole
sprouts
Whip
in
mixed
there.
with vanilla, like gummy bears and whatever, like fruit, like
Wow. Look at
whatever
you.
goes with fruit
Look at
flavored
you
ice cream.
go. Man, I'm proud. Yeah, no, I'm the complete opposite.
I figured.
Throw everything on there. Let me pay $50 for a cup of frozen yogurt, might as well. And then yeah, it's pretty much I mean, I'm a big cake batter every time. I'll get cake batter. Frozen yogurts. Gotta get the Oreos on there. Gotta get the caramel, gotta get the fudge. Like whatever chocolate chip sprinkles, like Twix, whatever they got. I'm throwing it on there. With no regard for my health at all.
I mean, that's how that's how you approach life.
Pretty much, gotta have no regard for your health. If you care
Gosh,
about your health, you will actually die earlier.
my best friend is gonna be dead by 35.
At least I have my sweet frog though.
Hey, when the
Hey man,
frogs are sweet, you know what they say? When the frogs are sweet,
life is good.
the blind squirrels find a lot of nuts.
That is what they say. Man, oh me. All right. With that being said, I got
Yeah,
nothing to add,
yeah, that's an end to a very chaotic episode.
really.
Um,
But hey, I'm glad we got to talk some college basketball. Be ready for the episode next week when the brackets come out. We gonna be chatting about it.
and the Takes from the Lakes Bracket Challenge. Winner gets on the
Yes.
podcast. Shameless plug.
Yeah, we should have honestly said that earlier, but yeah. I don't know if we actually said
Okay.
it on the
Okay.
pod, but yeah, whoever wins the bracket challenge for
Here.
Takes from the Lakes is getting on the pod.
I'm winging this. If you listen to the very end of this podcast, text me or like contact us somehow with the words Wendy's Biggie Bag, and you get a second entry.
Oh my God. You get 2 brackets?
On your bracket challenge.
I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness. What if you like put like a secret message in like one of the Instagram posts, and whoever like figured it out, the first person to figure it out will get
You
it.
do that as well.
Yeah. We can do that later. Or like on a story.
Okay, but yeah, so anybody who listened to the end gets a second entry.
I like that.
But
Get
you
2
have
brackets.
to text me. You have to text me Wendy's Biggie Bag.
Or me if you don't have Nash's number.
Yeah.
Text me or Nash, Wendy's Biggie Bag. Everyone has my number.
Or DM the podcast.
Yes, that would probably be the best way of communication. But I love that. Perfect. So hey, join the bracket challenge. You could even have 2 entries if you text us Wendy's Biggie Bag and go get a Wendy's Biggie Bag. You want a Wendy's Biggie Bag, don't you, right now?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it.
You would be the person to like go and get a Wendy's Biggie Bag at 11:15 on a school night. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just would be
all hours of the day.
Yeah. But we should probably end this so Nash can go get his Biggie Bag.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys.
All right. Well, thank you for listening and or watching. Join the bracket challenge, but it's not even a thing yet. But yeah, be ready for the bracket challenge to come out. Or I guess on Sunday once the brackets are finalized, and we will catch you guys next time. See ya.
See ya.